Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. Today is Sunday, May 18th, 2025. It is 8:21 p.m. And I'm not going to be long with this one, but I titled this one, The WNBA is launching an investigation for the racist remarks or behavior towards the WNBA's Angel Reese. And I simply want to start by saying this is really pathetic. Like, this is pathetic behavior towards a young lady. Now, I get it. Y'all cannot like her. Y'all cannot like her. Y'all cannot like the way she played basketball. But it's something that is never about basketball when it's Angel Reese. Like, a couple of weeks ago when Shedeur Sanders fell into the draft, they tried to make it seem as if it had a lot to do with racism. It did not. It's just Shedeur Sanders is not as good as he thinks he is. And they were using power words like the NFL is buck breaking Shedeur Sanders. The NFL has a problem with confident young men. They want to break the confidence of confident young black men. And that is BS. That is BS towards Shedeur Sanders. But if they want to humble and break the confidence of somebody like him, what exactly is it that they're trying to do with Angel Reese? Because I look at the narratives, and this is where cognitive dissonance is on full display. Because you would actually think that Angel Reese never won anything in college. You would actually think she never broke rebound records. You would actually think, if you listen to Caitlin Clark fan bases and tap dancers that just don't like her, you would think she's the worst player, which is when I'm reading comments, that's the things that they're saying. She's the worst player in WNBA history. How in it? This is only her second season. Because, see, when you're dealing with Caitlin Clark fans and that racist fan base and that tap dancing fan base, you're not dealing in reality. I was listening to Dr. Joy DeGruy, who I think is absolute brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant. And she was talking about something with the pathology in the way white people pathologize their sick behavior and rationalize their sick behavior, right? And what's funny is not only do they do it, but that sickness has been induced into us, so now we do it. Now walk with me, talk with me, listen to what I'm saying. She would talk about in Norm Stamper's book, Breaking Rank, how they would have certain police calls for prostitutes, for black prostitutes, that it was like a non-human human being, right? And this is how they describe them. This is how they describe prostitutes. It's non-human, right? And when they're doing that, see, it's all in the way that they label you. I'm trying to find the right words. It's a level of dehumanization. That's the word I'm looking for. And what has this got to do with Angel Reese? Hang on one second. When you look at a woman that you think is promiscuous, she has no value. She deserves the treatment that she gets. She also said something that they did a study in the 80s and asked males all across the board that if they could get away with R wording and assaulting women, Would they? She said this was in the 80s. 70% of men said yes. So now the way the misogyny is set up now, I would think that's at almost 100% now in 2025. Because I said something on one of my other posts that Angel Reese is facing something that Jackie Robinson didn't even face. She's not only facing the racist white media, but she's also facing the tap dancing black media, the Jason Whitlocks, the RG3s who made a distasteful tweet about her saying she absolutely hates Caitlin Clark. He knows what hates look like. Never trust a black man that's not even married to a black woman with his interpretation of black women and black women's behavior. Because it is their job to see something that's not there when it comes to black women. And keep in mind, Angel Reese is in her early 20s. She's still a young, developing girl. But the rationalization and the thing that they want you to see, they want you to dehumanize her. She's look at how she's dressing, but she's crying about being sexually objectified. She's young. Shedeur Sanders wears jewelry all the time. Does that mean he needs to be robbed? Does that mean he needs to be targeted because he's flashy? See, we have to understand and be careful of the things and the labels that we place on people. So because Angel Reese dresses quote unquote provocative, it gives you a right in this misogynistic world. It gives you a right to judge her. When I talk to, and I'm at a point where I really can't talk to people. I can't talk to Caitlin Clark fans, and I can't talk to people that just don't like Angel Reese, because it's never about basketball. She had 17 rebounds. She had 12 points and 17 rebounds yesterday. And they have this narrative that they have made up that all of her rebounds come off of her misses. So they're saying she had 17 offensive rebounds. And this tells you they don't pay attention to the game because she had 10 defensive rebounds and 7 offensive. Aaliyah Boston had 4 offensive. That's a part of the game. But not for Angel. Because they constantly want to put something on her. There's an image that they're constantly trying to put out about Angel. That she's distasteful, that she's ghetto trash. Now, the same thing if we were to read these books like 100 Years of Lynching, if we read these books like Medical Apartheid, when you look at the savage white boy, the way they describe black people's behavior in that same way. James Marion Sims, who is supposed to be the godfather of gynecology, right? In this book right here, hang on. In this book right here, let me see if I can find it. Okay, found it right here. See, when you're looking for stuff, you don't have to use my light. I'm gonna read it to you. Okay. Medical journals and professional word of mouth had detailed the inhalation of ether as anesthesia since the early 1840s, and Sims knew of this. But he flatly refused to administer anesthesia to the slave women and girls. He claimed that his procedures were not painful enough to justify the trouble and risk attending the administration. But claims ring hollow when one learns that Sims always administered anesthesia when he performed the perfected surgery to repair the vaginas of white women in Montgomery a few years later. Sims cited the popular belief that blacks did not feel the same pain in the same ways as whites. So I want you to understand in this book, and that is page 65 of Harriet Washington's Medical Apartheid. I want you to understand what you black tap dancers are doing. I'm seeing YouTube channels that's making all kind of stuff. Some white boy on here, he made a post saying that Angel Reese tried to fight Caitlin Clark after just a hard basketball play. That's a hard basketball play. I'm not crying anything on that. That whole thing was a basketball play. But Angel is not afforded the same fairness. Because if she was to file Caitlin Clark in that same way, RG3 would say, "See, I told you she hates her. Look at the distasteful, trash-like way. She's unfit for basketball." It is the coming down on her. But Caitlin Clark would make that same play, and Caitlin Clark is a court Karen. She's a court Karen because she makes a play like that basketball play now. But she walks away like she doesn't know why people have this attitude towards her. I'm just trying to play basketball. The narrative last year when they were filing her hard and they were saying the women are so jealous of her. Jason Whitlock does it all the time. They're assaulting her. The unfair treatment that Caitlin Clark is facing. How come they don't treat Paige Beckers like that? You know why they don't treat Paige Beckers like that? You know why Paige Beckers doesn't get the Caitlin Clark treatment? Because she speaks up for black women. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, the treatment of her. And a lot of times the tap dancing black people, they don't, especially black males, they don't even want you to have any type of love or come to the defense of Angel Reese. Because that is the notion nowadays. To let these 304s, you see how she dressed? You see how she dressed? She dressed like she dressed like a 304. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. But Carter Bronny, who I think is a phenomenal kid. I think Bronny is a great young man. It is his daddy. I think Bronny is a great young man that is just caught up in the BS of his dad. But when we look at the behaviors, I think Shedeur Sanders is way cocky. But the treatment is unfair. They said, and they were launching back to why they were launching the investigation, because they said that they were making monkey sounds. She's being called nigger. But I thought racism didn't exist. This is 2025. Oh, why don't you black people stop talking about race? I made a video on TikTok, and a white boy in my comments said, "Oh, where's the video? I would love to see that." Now, they want you to think that the Angel Reese fan base are the ones with the problem. But make a video about Angel Reese and watch the hate. Because don't save her. I already told you the pathology. I already told you the mindset of them in books like Breaking Rank. In books like Medical Apartheid, they do not see us as human. Therefore, they have the right to treat us inhumane. They don't see Angel Reese as human. They already told you she was some ghetto trash. They already told you she was a classless piece of shit when she did this at LSU. Something that Caitlin Clark started. She started when she did it to Haley Van Lith. But it was called, oh, look at her. She's so passionate. Look at the way Caitlin Clark plays the game. And then if Angel Reese was to give in, because she's constantly being compared to this white girl. So if Angel Reese was to give in and she was to start messing with her nose, start bleaching her skin, dye her hair blonde, then you dog her even worse and say she'll sell out. It's bull. You try doing your job, whatever job you have, you try doing your job, and they're making monkey noises with you. RG3, since you think you're a part of this, you try doing your job, and they're making monkey noises outside your door. Because the narrative that they want to say, nobody even wants to mention Asia Wilson, who is the best player in the WNBA. But they can't wait to put the great white hype as the face of the league. Skip Bayless already said Caitlin Clark is the clear-cut MVP favorite. After one game, she's being deemed the MVP favorite. It's bull. And you misogynistic dudes, y'all need to fix that. Y'all need to fix that. I tell you, ladies, if you dealing with a dude and he can't even get through a certain emotion without unraveling, these broads, these bitches, these hoes, there's all these names, but when they get to talking about white folks, they say, these white people. Oh, the white boy. Always this level of respect. But us, we niggas, bitches, hoes, slime, gang, all stereotypes that they want us to do to make us 21 what? Savage, so they can treat you savagely. Oh, they saying they savages. This is why they felt like Carmelo Anthony was just supposed to get up and walk away. Because that's Austin's tent. And we act like we don't see it. We act like we don't see it. You know why we act like we don't see it? Because we're too busy being socialized by people like Charleston White, Anton Daniels, who was letting the Booty Warrior raise him up and tell him he think he cute. But these are your examples of men. Anton Daniels is letting a known Booty Warrior tell him he think he's attractive. Academics, because I'm not gonna call that fool no DJ. Academics love to start shit with women. Look at the examples of black males that they are putting in the media, on social media. Look at the examples. I can't say nothing about Umar Johnson without people getting upset. Umar Johnson is defending Diddy. Because just like what I said in Breaking Rank, how they don't see prostitutes or promiscuous women as human, they have trained you to think the same way. Oh, Cassie knew what she was getting into. Oh, those girls, R. Kelly wasn't holding those girls against their will. They knew what they were. Well, you got to blame the parents because you're beginning to pathologize this crazy behavior. The sickness is in the secrets. Another thing Dr. Joy DeGruy was saying, the sickness is in the secrets. Because you're always supposed to hold those family secrets. Shh, don't talk about what Uncle did to the children. He's still allowed to come around. You just got to watch him. Shh, don't talk about what Granddaddy did to the children that night. Here, that's still your granddaddy. You're rationalizing the illness, which is why you can't see straight on this stuff. Because what y'all say, oh, that stuff been going on for longest. Oh, that you're normalizing the behavior. That's why they say, oh, they can't see the difference between a younger woman. If you're 50 years old and you're dating a woman that's 30, that's a younger woman. If you're 56 years old and you're dating an 18, 19-year-old, that's a girl that's barely legal. She has a learner license for her age. She can't even do much. She can't even drink. She's not fully legal. But you're starting to think like them sick white savages. She's legal enough to sex on. She's legal enough to control. She's legal enough to make what? Submit. Don't talk to me about no submission. Stop asking your woman to submit. Submission is always giving into something that's above you. You got to submit a resume if you want a job. Submit this urine sample to your probation officer. Submit this urine sample for this job. You want this job? You want to gain entry? You want a boss? Submit. But you rule with your ego. You rule with your phallus. You rule with what you think manhood is. Aggression is not masculinity. I ain't gonna keep saying this to y'all. But you guys will get out here and cape for a goddamn Caitlin Clark and won't say nothing about a black woman because you still ain't dealt with that internal pain. This is why it's the rise of the red pills. The rise of an Anton Daniels, the rise of that little fairy Kevin Samuels. Well, he ain't rising nothing right now. Because there's an incentive on talking down on black women. If I was to start that, my views probably would skyrocket. It's not right. It's bull. Angel Reese is somebody's child, just like Shedeur Sanders, just like Bronny. But y'all gonna pile on her until she breaks. Oh, she went to the Met Gala, so? LeBron James faked the whole entry. I'm talking about he was going to the Met Gala. Oh, but he won. Oh, he takes the game serious. Does he? Is that why he's whining and flopping around? Stop ruling with your penis. Stop ruling with your pants hurt. It's bull. Angel Reese is a young black woman just like your daughters, just like your nieces, just like your sisters. I don't care what she's wearing. She deserves respect, goddammit. And we'll have a conversation. Young lady, you got to listen, sister. I'm not coming at you trying to tell you how to dress, but I want you to be respected. And even if she rejected, guess what? She'll say self-respecting stand-up black men came in here and tried to tell her something straight up. Instead of, oh, don't save her. I saw a post. It said, one word to describe Angel Reese. Some old Peckerwood in the comments said, what's Too Short favorite word? You know Too Short favorite word. Bitch. Why? Overrated. Dumb. Stupid. That's somebody's daughter. What if that was your child in the media that was being taught like that? Everybody tender dick and ran to Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders' aid. You're starting to think like Greeks and Romans. You're starting to think on this, I'm a man's man. I ain't no man's man. I don't like the way that sounds. That don't have a good ring to it. A man's man. I ain't no man's man. I'm a strong man. Ain't no bros before hoes. All that stuff is butt plug talk right there. That sounds like butt plug play right there to me. You run to the aid of another man. You're a bunch of jock straps. It's not cool. But like I said, I wasn't going to be long. I just wanted to drop something because I'm seeing too many pile up on her. And guess what? if you're not gonna come to her aid, don't tell me not to defend her. Don't tell me she don't need to be defended. If she don't need to be defended, she don't need to be torn down. If she don't need to be lifted up, she don't need to be torn down. Stop it.